Hello and welcome to another edition of Sunday Night Soccer. I'm Jay here with my man Mike D. How's it going, man?
Bro, that intro was fire.
Well,
That
you
made
made
me
it. So
hype.
you got
I know, but
yeah,
I'm just saying, like, we haven't had that before, so I feel a little bit more hype,
we're
even
up in
though,
our
like, I feel
game.
like I'm getting down. Yeah, we are up in our game. That's the truth. But I do feel like I got to be honest with the listeners and yourself today. My energy might be a little off as I don't know what the hell I'm coming down with, but I got my Gatorade.
Oh man, yeah, it's winter,
And it
man.
just feels like I got the ache, like I got my coat on because it's like I got the aches and shivers like in my body. So, but
Yeah, it
hopefully this
sucks.
is like my MJ like 40-point performance when he's got the flu.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. So, we got an exciting show for everyone tonight. We're excited to bring it to you. We already got. Look at this. We already got one of the Erics showing up.
So talk
Legit
about Eric.
program intro, high class. Look
That's what
at
I'm
that.
saying.
Look at that. So glad to have the Erics back with us. So tonight we're going to talk a little bit about, if you follow along on the screen there at the bottom, MLS Next Pro and Pro Relegation, Promotion Relegation. A big breaking news. The other Eric
Love the
agreed.
intro.
Love the intro. There you go. There you go. So. But we're going to talk about that. Some rumors at the end, maybe about Drake and the World Cup song and some things going on with that. But before that, we'll get right to it here with our main topic. The first topic, MLS Next Pro. If you're not sure what MLS Next Pro is, we'll break that down here for you a little bit. We're going to get to that here in a second as soon as I get things squared away. There we go. So MLS Next Pro started just a couple of years ago. And MLS Next Pro is kind of on the same level. It rivals USL, which is another.
Wait. Back up, Jay. You're going too fast for the audience. So the question is, why doesn't the United States have pro relegation compared to
Yeah.
like why Europe has it and has all those things? So, from what I understand with the landscape and why we've never had is because it's too big. And from the MLS perspective, is that you can't have these supreme stadiums that can hold 30 to 40,000 people and then all of a sudden go to a high school stadium. This is why we've never been able to do that prior. Now there seems to be waves moving in that direction, but I'm just not sure where it lands. So now go ahead. So this is because pro regulation is good, I think, for competition. It's good for cities. It makes it more entertaining. What are your thoughts on that before we dive into that?
Yeah. So just in general, I think that it's. I think in general people don't understand it, and I think that it would honestly make what
Yeah.
people don't understand is that it makes things actually better. It's one of those things
Yes.
where if you don't understand it, you can be very leery of it, and say, "Oh,
Yeah.
our Eric was just on here. He loves the Cubs." It's like I can't imagine the Cubs, going down to Double-A baseball, right?
Right.
But it actually, as you and I know, soccer guys, makes things a lot better in the end. It
Yes.
really, there's a lot that goes into it. We can't cover it all tonight in one show, but financially, there's all kinds of things. But it just makes people so much more passionate
Yes.
about
There's
their
more purpose
team.
behind the. Yes, the season has much more
And
purpose.
yes, there is no tanking. There's none of that stuff like we're
Right.
used to in the NFL, the NBA. And what I love about it, I don't know about you, I watch a lot of those games at the end of the season with those teams in the relegation zone that are just as exciting or even more exciting
Mm-hmm.
than the teams at the top. You know what I mean? Because
Right.
they're fighting for their life. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? That's when you see the 60, 70-year-old people in the stands, crying because their team won and they
Yeah.
finished 16th in the league instead of
Yeah.
17th.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it'd be like, I know you're a Giants fan. I don't want to bring up your misery while you don't feel good, but
Hey, we're first round draft pick. We're fine.
But in all reality, if we had promotion relegation, let's say for football, right, in the NFL, even though you're having a bad season, you have something to fight for, like you said, because every game means something. And you don't want to finish last and get sent down to, we don't really have anything. It'd be like the arena football or something, the USFL. But you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Even that last game of the season when you're playing, it means something. So
Yeah.
that's what it comes down to. A quick overview for everybody. MLS Next Pro is a professional league that is similar to the USL. USL is technically like Division II, but they kind of rival each other, and I'll get into this later. But this is the main problem with soccer in our country at the very top. But they're both professional leagues. They have different business models. The entry fee for independent club to join MLS Next Pro is much lower than the entry fee to join USL. Yes. The business model, MLS Next Pro and the USL have different business models. MLS Next Pro has no salary cap. Player contracts are held by the team, not the league, like in the MLS, a little bit different. And the USL operates 2 leagues. They have a USL Championship. They have a division, which is the second division. It's basically, for all you sports fans out there, AAA baseball. And then USL League One would be double A. It'd be the next level down. MLS Next Pro just has a regular season of 24 matches. 8 teams qualify for the playoffs. Player development. Some former USL League 2 players have even been selected by MLS clubs in the MLS draft. So that's just a quick overview. So MLS Next Pro is
equivalent to USL, I would say.
Yes. And I also want to share this. I have another piece to share what you give us your thoughts on a little bit. I'm going to switch over to this website I looked up from the USL. So we'll hit that real quick because I think that's
okay. So let me just say this for anyone that's listening and you're confused, if you're not, especially if you're not a soccer fan or understand the system, we are too. Like 100%, the pro system in the United States for soccer is mad confusing. It's kind of all over the place. The 2 juggernauts, there's only one juggernaut. It's the MLS. The MLS is really the true juggernaut. The second competing juggernaut is USL. And you would think by logic, it would go MLS and then USL would kind of be that second tier system. And then USL champions. Like it literally is kind of set up for you to have the pro relegation system. The problem is we're in a capitalist society and USL and MLS don't get along. They don't see eye to eye. And so the owners want to be different. And there's just segregation like everything else that we have in soccer going around.
Yes.
MLS Next Pro is now their integration in having a tier 2. So now they're rivaling the USL. And now they have this more of approach that allows smaller markets to get into the MLS and have a more streamlined approach and be under the MLS umbrella. So why don't we have this pro relegation system? It's because we don't get along and the country's massive. Travel is huge and we can't figure out without the money coming in how to make this all make sense from a business aspect. And that's the short answer to all this stuff. Is that from a business standpoint, it doesn't make sense to be able to do pro rel. And in fact, if you look at the American sports business model compared to European sports business models with the pro rel, American sports make more money. Bottom line.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So this is why. But from a competition standpoint, from a purist standpoint, the pro relegation is much better. And I think this is what changing lens in soccer, this is how we have to do it. Is like we have to be a little bit more empathetic and put the game first. So we don't fall into this capitalist society kind of mindset. I think the sport needs to be pure. And if soccer can do that in America, it will take off, in my opinion, because it will be sports fans will have never seen anything like it. It will be the first of, oh shit, that's pure competition. That's real. Like you're telling me if this team that's in LA loses this final game, all of a sudden they're not the top league. Like it would go nuts. The media would eat that up. And that's what this whole thing drives off of how much, And
to go back to your point, I agree with you completely on this one. The biggest, you and I talk about pay to play model and all these different things. There are big issues, but at the very, very top of soccer in the United States, in my opinion, the biggest problem is egos and that people can't get along. If you look at England and some other countries, there is one governing body at the top, right? And everyone falls underneath that at some point and it's organized.
Yeah.
And like you said, our country is so big. And I think it's also because soccer is kind of, in our country, kind of branched out, right? Like,
it's the wild, wild west still.
Things have popped up. They've popped up over the years, and some of that's great. But someone needs to take control at the top and say, this is how we're going to do it. And then everyone has to fall, underneath that. We got a great comment here from Griff. Model Rob, one of our listeners, I always thought baseball would be better with relegation. And
I agree with you, man.
I love
100%.
it. And I always use baseball to my friends and stuff that aren't maybe into the soccer thing, and as an example, because think about like you're a Yankees fan, so you don't deal with this because the Yankees are always pretty decent, and they're but if you're a fan of a baseball team, what happens around July? Like in my neck of the woods, the Cincinnati Reds, right? What do? They sell everybody. They start cutting people. They just we're gonna tank and look towards next season after the All-Star break.
Right.
And people don't, some people are always going to go to games, but imagine if that last series of the season, in September, whatever, came down to promotion relegation, it'd be a packed stadium. Even if you had a lousy season, people are going to go to those games and they're going to do everything they can and we have so many meaningless games, I would say, in baseball and basketball.
Or basketball,
in the NBA.
Say, yeah.
So many
in the
meaningless...
NFL, like I was watching the Giants today. I was rooting for them to lose. What the hell is that?
Yeah.
Like I was like, nah, don't give up the draft pick. Like I don't care.
Yeah.
And I'm not even watching the game. I'm watching a different team. Like my allegiance to the team is over right now. It's done.
Yeah.
Like,
and you're thinking about next year
to be for next season. Yeah.
Yep. And so I think
go ahead.
I just think that's the, people at the very top need to get more organized, need to put their egos aside. And I truly think it would help. You said at the very beginning of this topic that people think, well, you can't go play in these tiny stadiums and things like that. Well, I tell anybody out there right now, even if you don't like soccer very much, you don't know much about, in January, when the FA Cup proper starts up, it's going on right now. It's a long story. But when the actual big guys jump into the FA Cup, turn on the TV and watch a random draw when like Manchester City is playing at some 4th division team in some tiny town in England, right? In a stadium that holds 5,000 people. And that is one of the biggest events that will happen in that town for years. You know what I mean? And it's epic. It's just unbelievable. And so it can be done. It is possible. It's I don't know about you, Mike D. I'm happy at least it's a kind of a bubbling topic nowadays around the U.S. because of
but you got to even look at the U.S. Open, right? The U.S. Open was supposed to be that. The U.S. Open was supposed to be USL, any kind of club, like whatever prerequisites were in place for you to be part of this tournament. Like maybe it was a buy-in or whatever the hell it was. The MLS teams, because they were losing money on doing this, have now pulled out their first teams from being in it. So now when you're seeing an MLS team, you're seeing their second team play a USL team. So it's not accurate. Yeah, and so it's business driven. That's the problem.
Yeah.
It's business driven. It's not competition driven. Like the respect that you earn from this, like the honesty of like promoting the sport to get bigger
and competition
is lost because an owner just wants to make money for themselves. When if you did this the right way, the whole sport would grow.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? Like it's crazy that there isn't just one smart guy like a Michael Douglas at the top saying, yo, we're all going to do it this way.
Yeah, that's what needs to be done.
It's just crazy. It's just sport first. Like, relax. You're going to get your money. Just
it would actually make it bigger. Yeah.
Yeah, it would make it way bigger. Like New York, not New York. America would go nuts for this. They would.
Absolutely.
Media would go crazy on this.
Model Rob says there's not there is some in golf, so I don't know about that. Explain some more, Model Rob, if you're on there. Hop on there and tell us more. So, but it's a great topic. There's a lot to dive into. Like I said, we could talk one whole episode just about promotion relegation, but it's a great topic. But time to move on here. So we'll get to the next one. Our next topic is not that one. It's this one. So if we're ill prepared tonight, maybe it'll be better for viewers.
It's not that one. No, I didn't see it. So you're good.
Maybe it'll be worse. I don't know. But countries, what's unique, Mike D, about
there's nothing
soccer,
on the screen, by the way.
Oh, I know, but I'm just getting there. You are. That's all that matters.
Okay,
you are.
All right.
Countries, when they get to the World Cup, it's kind of crazy how certain countries have their own style of play, right? And they just kind of have their own way that they think the game should be played, and it shows up, and it's kind of been that way traditionally for years. So just to show everybody a little bit about what we're talking about, and then we'll get into this. Oh, Mono Rob's got a quick addition. Wait a minute. Oh no, he didn't. I'm sorry. So with Spain is kind of known for their tiki-taka, short passes, possession, technical skill. Argentina, a lot of passion, aggressive play. It's that South American kind of vibe that comes out in them. Brazil, is known for the samba style, the tricky moves, a lot of 1v1 flair, creativity, individual creativity. Germany, much more precision, tactical brilliance. Japan, technical prowess and more discipline.
Which is getting way better, by the way. Watching Japan is getting better and better every World Cup.
Yep. And Italy, what's called catenaccio. Italy's famous for winning 1-0. They're kind of their philosophy, if you don't know, is about soccer is if the other team doesn't have the ball, they can't score. So defending and possession is big in Italy. It's just kind of, their philosophy on the game. So interesting point to talk about. And then Mike D, I'll let you go into that and see what we want to do. What your thoughts are on this.
So this goes into what we were talking about last week when we started talking about Cooper Flag. Yeah. And how things are kind of typecasted, right? And how where you are, maybe like the white American
superstar in the NBA. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Is a 3-and-D guy that he's got limitations because he's white American. And this is and in soccer, there's these playing styles that kind of match, and you see around all the different leagues around the top league where you see the best player of maybe some of these countries playing with this type of flair. Like it's just how that style and what's ingrained in that country. I think what's crazy about this is how real that is. Like, so if you watch a national team play, the biggest one to me is Germany. Germany takes their time. They almost are boring to watch at times because they're so methodical, breaking you down. Mm-hmm. And it's side to side until they find that one alley to move through. And then it's a change of pace and they're in and behind. Yep. Brazil almost looks like they're playing tennis at times because of how fast plays like it is. Like if you watch South American countries play, like you understand why flopping is a thing because of how fast they play. And that they just need a break. Like they're literally playing the clock so they can get a break because of how fast back and forth they're playing.
But their creativity is a little soccer rebellion style,
Oh, 100%. Yeah,
there's improv, individual flair. Yeah,
right. The improv behind everything, and there's a little bit more ooh and ahs that they celebrate the independence and creativity. Now, with all this being said, with the soccer styles that happen around, what would you say the United States soccer style is?
And I'm telling you what, you're a smart guy because I'm telling you, sometimes you amaze me. I was getting ready to ask you the exact same question.
I'm gonna put that on you.
Oh,
so what is the American soccer style?
Our style, I think, is hardworking, scrappy, somewhat direct, and I think that's what we're best at.
Blue collar.
Yep, athletic. That's what we're good at, and I think that's what we need to stick to. I'm not saying we just need to kick it over the top and play long, but I'm just saying.
Now you're saying that because of what you want to see.
No, I think that's what
because it's baloney if you think that's what our team is right now. It's not.
No, I'm saying the last 20, 30 years of a country is what I'm saying. That's what I think. What I think is interesting when you look at these countries we have listed on the screen, Italy doesn't have any kind of real desire that I'm aware of to play like Brazil. You know what I mean? Spain doesn't have any desire to play like Germany. You know what I mean? They're confident in their own style. And for some reason we keep searching for like one of these things
because we haven't won.
No, but we think that we need to copy, you know what I'm saying?
Because we haven't won.
But you asked me what I know,
but I'm saying to you, Spain's confident because they've won it. Germany's won.
Okay, Japan hasn't.
I'm Japan, but Japan's building something and USA is not Japan.
Yeah.
Like I don't know how else to say that. Like it's just Japan's more confident in what they're doing and how they dissect things and their education behind what they're building.
But I think we should be. I think we should be.
100%. I think
stick with what we're good at.
Yes. I agree with you.
There's a first. I hope someone marks that down.
No, it's not the first, Jay, but listen. So what I'm saying is you look at our team now, and I think some of the problems that we have is that besides Pulisic and some of the players, we're not built for a certain creativity. We're not.
Yeah.
We're still built to be direct. Now, I do think that some of the tactics that we have, we can overload on certain sides. I think especially with Robinson, like overloading on that left side makes a lot more sense, like the way that he's able to impact, but that's built on athleticism, not necessarily on flair technique. I think when you put Dest in there and you have some of this playing style that's unique to United States, the issue is we lose a little bit of our identity because we have a player now out of the back that's looking to escape and create through a dribble, and you have players that are looking to go direct, and it's kind of it's like shifting gears in a manual car, and it's not shifting right. Like it just seems a little like it just the rhythm seems a little bit off sometimes, and it's I don't know, and I think sometimes in soccer, like what you see, it's like you could have brilliant players, but your team's not cohesive, and that's what kills the game.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what we look like now. Like, yes, I think most definitely we're the most talented team, but we also lack cohesion in a lot of ways. And you can think about even like our keeper. Like I'm talking about men's national team.
Yeah.
The women's team seem to understand this more than men's, to be honest. I think we play direct. We always play direct. We get on the front foot and we go on the women's national team. Men seem hesitant on that, and they want to get creative, and there's just so much that goes into that. Like, I don't know.
I have a question. Well, let me ask you this. Here's an interesting thought. I just came to me. Do you think it has anything to do with the guys that we have now that are out there playing in different countries? And, they're playing in these higher leagues and in the Italys and the Spains and the Englands and Germanys. And do you think they come back and they have trouble adjusting to our true identity or anything like that?
Yeah, probably. I think there has a lot to do with this is the first time we've ever had this.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah.
It's the first time that maybe there's an evolution going on, but I think because of the way sports are and our sports culture in America, I think we should lean into being the most athletic on the field and that blue collar work ethic. That's what I think. But you have players like we have now, like I would still label Pulisic as a blue collar player though. Like that, like he doesn't wow you with his foot skills, but he comes at you with speed and agility and then finishes. Like I still think he's very blue collar.
I would agree. Yeah.
I think Robinson's very blue collar. I think, I'm not a big fan of McKennie right now.
Yeah.
I think is inconsistent. I like him as a person. I think his personality is great, but I think Tyler Adams is very blue collar. I think
he could run through the whole
collar. You know what I mean? Like we have some of these players, like, but then you have players like you have Dest, you have I think Reyna's not necessarily blue collar.
Yeah, maybe.
But I don't know. Yeah. There's just I don't know. Something about it is we're a little confused on how we play, and then we don't switch up the tactics well enough for us to ever be anything special. It just seems like it seems confused.
Yeah, like we're searching for our identity.
Yeah, yes, exactly. We seem like a teenager. Yeah. Like we don't know like where we're at, and we get a little insecure, and then we try to prove ourselves. And
oh man, I hope you're sitting down. Are you ready for this?
Go ahead.
We got 3 Erics. The 3 Erics.
We do.
This might be a podcast world record. Pulisic is blue collar when it comes to his work ethic, but his mindset and the way he sees the game seems to be more European.
I agree with that. I think that's a great take.
Yeah. Good call.
He almost feels like he thinks he's European. But again, you can't blame the kid because he went over there when he was 15, 16?
Yeah, and he plays well at that level, obviously.
Oh, 100%. Top 15 in the world, and I'm so proud of him,
He is I think that you like you said, like a teenager, it's like as a country we're still searching for identity, and I feel like the last several years it's like we're trying to be something that we're not.
Yes.
And I think that we just need to stick with what we're good at and build on that. Like you said, evolve. Yeah, you get tactically better and You're going to have to make some adjustments at the highest level, in World Cup games against some of these teams that are on the screen and things like that. But, in general, stick with what we're good at. All these teams, countries you see on the screen, and the Netherlands, we could go even, France, all these other countries. They believe that that's the best way for them to play soccer or football, whatever you want to call it. They're confident in that.
Yeah.
They don't win the World Cup every time, but they're confident in it, and that's where we need to be, in my opinion.
Yes, I 100% agree with you, Jay.
And just get the lunch pail right and go to work.
Yes, that's well said. And it's funny that now we bring in, and I think sometimes we try to do that. Like, I think Greg was supposed to kind of be that a little bit, like kind of that anchor to the American culture with it. And then we realized that's not our players' DNA.
Yeah.
And then we brought in this new guy. And we'll see, man. It's just it's a watching process right now, and we do have to be patient. We do. Progression is happening, development's happening, soccer is getting bigger. All the right steps are being taken, and thus that have been here for a while, and we know the game, and we just got to be a little bit more patient. I think, even though we've been mad patient, we just got to be a little bit more.
Stick with what we're good at.
Yeah, I guess.
Accept our identity, and just be the best we can at it. Because I still think I'm not saying we can't. I think we can be successful by doing that. I do. I just think that we need to.
All right, let me ask you this question. I'm going to jump into something that we'll probably talk about numerous times. What is the USA ceiling, U.S. men's national team ceiling in the 26 World Cup?
In the next World Cup?
Yeah, 26 World Cup when it's here.
I think, in all honesty, considering when the coach got here and all that, I think if they get to the final 8, the quarterfinal, that'd be a fantastic result.
I think quarterfinals is very fair. I think exactly where I'm at.
Yeah,
I'll take it a step farther. I think if we get to the semis, it's going to be crazy.
Well, yeah, that would be. But anything after that,
if we get to the quarters, yes, the whole world will disrupt. Like the whole country. I mean, we'll just go nuts.
Yep.
We just drank at the same time. It was really cute.
I know. We should take a timeout. We'll have to add that to the show. How many timeouts do we have left? There's no timeouts in soccer, man.
There's no timeouts. We're just injury.
That's for the cross-culture part. So, all right. Well, with that, that's a great intro into our next section. And if anyone out there is unaware of this, what is rumored to be is that Drake possibly working on the next World Cup theme song. There's been some talks. I found something interesting I want to share with you. I don't know if you know this. When I was doing some research on this, Venezia, team in Italy, Drake, I noticed this year they used to wear Kappa, right? Sweet gear. They had one of the best jerseys the last couple of years. They're unbelievable.
100%.
Well, they switched to Nocta, which is the Nike sub brand that is for Drake. All right, that Drake is with. This year, they dropped Kappa, and their kits are now made by Nocta. Drake last year financially saved Venezia, raising $40 million for them. They were $30 or $40 million in debt, and midway through the season, he had some connections with people there, and they contacted him and his representatives. He was able to raise the money. He stepped in, and he saved them from what I read, from bankruptcy at the end of the season. So he is interested, has an interest in soccer, a little bit. He met with the FIFA president, oddly enough, on September 29th. I'm not sure what that was all about, but he met with him. And in case you're wondering, people here think that the halftime performance of the Super Bowl was a big deal, and it's pretty awesome. Well, 1.5 billion with a B, people watched the last World Cup final.
Jesus.
So if someone like Drake lands a halftime performance or the theme song at the World Cup, that's an awful lot of people. So there's been a lot of rumors floating around the last, what would you say, on a month or two?
Yeah.
That he is working on a song that's going to become like the theme song, or maybe he's going to perform at halftime, something along those lines. And, I don't want to throw out my street knowledge on you, but from the Soccer Rebellion, we all know a little beef with Kendrick Lamar. And if Kendrick Lamar is being maybe possibly at halftime of the Super Bowl, this might be a
his
big
response. Yeah.
yeah.
And that's what I'm looking, and that's what it looks like. Like, this not like us, and has come out and become like a #1 platinum song and a beef track from Kendrick. And now Drake's kind of in this position. This is probably the best move for him. And
Yeah.
he's always looked at like, let me get global recognition. He wants to be like, the way that he infuses his song has always been like that with Drake. So what this means, I think, like Drake doing this,
And it's in not just the US, remember, it's North America. So it's Canada, it's Canada.
So if you don't know what we're talking about, like Shakira did one of these songs. The one I forget, the most famous one to me is the one they did in South Africa.
Yeah,
like, When I get older. Like,
yeah.
I like that song. But
Shakira, though, you're right. Yeah.
Shakira did a good, like, this makes sense to me.
Yeah.
This makes sense to me. I'm not the biggest Drake fan right now.
Yeah.
But before this whole beef with Kendrick, I would say that his songs were catchy. I don't label him as a hip hop artist or a rap. I mean, artist. He seems like a pop artist to me.
Yeah. Yeah.
But you can't deny that. Yeah, wave your flag, right?
There you go, Eric, coming in with the knowledge.
Right. That he's just, his songs are mad catchy. Like,
yeah,
he's just
he's got that, like, not to joke in all seriousness, but the cross culture kind of.
Yeah, he does. Like,
he's got a little hip hop, but he also gets into the pop stuff that's going to be on the radio.
Yes. So I think he makes sense to be. But then you got to think about the other ones, like Pitbull would be another good one that could do this, or someone else like that. So I'm not mad at it.
Yeah,
I think he's mad fake. I'm going to say that. I think Degrassi, all the things he did, and now he acts like something he's not. That's the thing that pissed me off about him.
Yeah,
but he makes good music. He's a good entertainer, so I'm not mad at it if he does it. And I know a lot of like Dre that was on this. He's a big Drake fan, so I know there's a big following. So I would be okay. I would definitely not hate it. He would just need to knock it out of the park. Like, I would hope that Drake knocks it out of the park when it comes to the States.
And just, I looked up real quick, 123 million people watched the last Super Bowl. So 123 million compared to 1.5 billion.
It's crazy.
Unbelievable.
Yeah. That's crazy.
Unbelievable. So I think, who knows what will happen, but I think that from the rumors and things that keep popping up online and on social media, it sure sounds like that's what's going to happen.
Yeah.
And like I say, you got to remember, it's going to be all of North America. So it's going to be Canada, the United States, and Mexico.
Yeah.
So obviously with him, it's very possible. And like I said, not mad at it. If it happens, better be good. But would be a huge move if you could land something like that. Which leads us to our pregame hype song. Now, this came from you. So you wanted to know, what was your pregame hype song? Now, I don't know if you have a top 3 list or just your top #1 song. You had a big, was it basketball game last week, the other night?
Who, me?
Yeah. What was that? Was it soccer or basketball?
I played soccer last week. So what I listened to on the way. Yeah, I had a game. I had a soccer game.
You had a game. Yeah. The other night we were talking.
Yeah.
So
I got to tell you, so my song that I used to listen to, that I had to listen to because I got a little like weird about it, and I am still that way with sports, is that I got these weird like habits. Like,
yeah.
I'm almost superstitious,
Gotta get your mind right. Yep.
Mine's a War Tour by Tribe Called Quest.
Really?
A War Tour. Like, it did, for whatever reason, kind of got me a little mellow before the game, but it got me in sync with like thinking like this was all about like me, and like I was on my award tour, like I was gonna make this happen, but it had to speak to me and like my creativity, and whatever the rhythm was of Tribe, like kind of that jazzy rhythm, kind of made me in tune with soccer. Like, I don't know how else to say that. Like, it got me kind of like,
so it kind of mellowed you out instead of
mellowed me out, because I'm just a crazy hype. Like, I'm already energetic, like too energetic.
Need mellowed out.
Like, I don't need to get pumped up more. I need to be brought a little down, be a little bit more focused. And Tribe kind of did that for me.
Oh, so, the other Eric. We got the 3 Erics, man. It's fantastic.
Well, so where we're from in Queens, New York, like, so the Linden Boulevard was like, Sutter Boulevard and 132nd, like Sutter Avenue and 132nd is like literally like 4 blocks away from Linden Boulevard, where Tribe Called Quest kind of. So
Oh
there's a
yeah, I
little bit
got
of a name.
okay.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
there's a little bit of
yeah.
love for them. Jock
Jock,
Jams Volume 2, No Limit.
he just
Wait,
listens to
No
the whole
Limit by
thing.
Master P. Is that Master P?
The whole. I think he listens to the whole. It's probably still on CD. CD. I love it. So yeah.
Jock Jams.
Hey, send us in your pregame song.
Yeah, please put those in the comments. I want to see your pregame hype song, and what we'll do
right here, right now.
Oh
There
yeah,
you go. High school warm-ups. Love it.
that I feel like that was like the notorious high school warm-up song.
Yeah.
Like I heard Fat Boy Slim like throughout.
There's
right
some on,
here, right. Yeah, like that was like the jam.
All right, I gotta go. I went a little old school too, but my number one, if I had to pick one, "When Will They Shoot" by Ice Cube.
Ooh,
yeah, that's I don't know.
I would
man.
not have picked that for you. I thought you were gonna say like Death Slayer or something.
No, I don't know what you're
I don't even know if
about.
that's a real band, but that's what I feel like you would have picked.
It should be, but yeah. Yeah, I'm sure it is in some garage somewhere. There's a
I'm
band
sure
named
someone's like, we should be Death Slayer.
yeah, Beavis and Butthead out there.
Yeah, no doubt.
But oh yeah, Eric likes that. Yep, he knows what I'm talking about. Yep.
Yeah, right.
So
I'm surprised too, Eric.
When will they? Oh man, it's classic. If you haven't look it up, kids, look it up, man. But
90s jams were just better.
Yeah, I'll
say that right now. I'll defend that. 90s music, 90s movies, just better. Like more storytelling, just kind of hit differently. Like I don't know how else to say it. Like it just hit you and
gritty, more real.
Yeah.
Yep.
It wasn't marketing slogans on repeat. Like there were stories.
Yep.
Like it said something.
Yeah, I don't know. So that's mine, man. I say, when will they shoot? Just listen to that all the time. It's one of my favorite.
I love it. We got to
add
that to the intro.
Got a couple, but that's my number one. So
I dig it, man.
I have to go with that. But send us your comments out there and stuff. We love it. Love to hear from everybody. And like I said, if you haven't heard, I don't know where you've been, but if you haven't heard, very excited to be partnered with the Soccer Rebellion. We got a lot of things coming up soon. Mike D's been busy. He's swamped there building a facility in Michigan in his free time, and but doing some great things. Next week, here's a classic. Now I know this gets you fired up. Chumbawamba.
Oh my God, no!
Yeah,
I hate
there you go.
he said that to piss me off. I hate that.
Real quick though, before we get out of here for tonight, we got through tonight a little quick. So, what you want to give us an update next week? I think we're hoping to have a special guest on here that has to do with an app. It kind of is that correct? Your player app that goes through with the underground.
Yeah, it's right. We have what's his name? Angel from Play, the app. So if you're familiar with where you go to sign up for pickups, we had a conversation with him about how we're going to intertwine with our facility, and because we're going to offer pickup nightly and all those things for our players. He's going to talk about his story a little bit and what the pickup culture looks like and how he was kind of a facilitator in that. So that's going to be, it'll be a good story to see like where the pickup culture's at and how it's growing. So I'm excited to talk to Angel next week.
Absolutely. Absolutely, man. Well, for everybody out there, we appreciate it. Thanks for tuning in as always. And until next time, we'll see you next Sunday on Sunday Night Soccer. So thanks for joining us.
Are we there at the end too?